Hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 silent run. On this channel, I put my recorded wins with some commentary and general discussion about this beautiful game that we play. I hope you all are doing very well today. I'm feeling pretty good myself. It just so happens. And today, I'll bring a chill vibe and a floor 0 Apotheosis. Actually getting 3 of the best choices here for sure. I think Master of Strategy is probably better than the Nature. But I mean, this is a high roll for sure. Could have taken any of these, but clearly Hand of Greed and Apotheosis are better. It might be a surprise to hear that I was considering Hand of Greed here, but Hand of Greed is really good as a 2 energy to deal 20 damage, basically a Carnage in your deck as the Silent, who's a bit lacking in damage. And it even allows you to kind of snowball a little bit and gain some gold. But of course, I do take the Apotheosis after all, after for some reason toggling the beta art on there. Just wanted to see what it looked like. Have you ever seen that before? And we're very strong, so it can even probably take the first leap to the right there before the shop. And even the super leap perhaps later. And I have no gold, because I just spent it all. So I better not go to that shop. Pretty bad hands. Every defend in my deck. Whoops. Oops, all defends. That's the meme, right? Didn't even draw the Survivor on that turn. That's so sad. Who made this shuffle? It's actually lethal. Yeah. And Dagger Throw looks good. All pickable cards, though. But Dagger Throw is just a bit above the rest of those attacks there, turning on discard synergies by itself and dealing more damage than the other two. Definitely come around on Sucker Punch. I used to think it was unpickable trash, and now I'm, I understand its role. It's just a attack common that has a little bit of upside. It's not really any different than Flying Knee, necessarily, except in niche situations. Like if you have Sadistic Nature, then the Weaken can apply damage, for example. And Sneaky Strike is here after taking Dagger Throw, so immediately rewarded and looking extremely strong all of a sudden. Just those 2 cards with the Apotheosis upgrading our whole deck is pretty insane. Possibly among the strongest like floor 3 decks that I've ever had. I did find the Survivor there, very nice. We'll say I have to dodge Apotheosis here. I gotta sneeze. It's going away. You all know that feeling. Human being moment. Humans be like, I gotta sneeze, never mind. And Liquid Memories, pretty good. And some good cards here. Terror seems really good for more damage with our Sneaky Strike and Dagger Throw, but they were all pickable to be sure. Bouncing Flask will be good. We needed some more damage for a boss, for example, but Apotheosis kind of solves the boss fights by itself in Act 1 anyway. And I'm considering, do I go left here, I guess? Maybe I was a bit worried about dying? Because the thing you have to realize is when you get a huge high roll like Apotheosis on floor 0, you don't have to be greedy and take every elite. And I do go left. In hindsight, a bit questionable, but past me was certainly cooking something up there. And I mean, obviously we're watching a hard kill here, so this is totally fine. Yeah, if you think you're already way ahead of schedule in power, then there's no need to get as strong as possible, except for the fact that maybe you start low rolling, I suppose. But I also am definitely considering taking the Super Elite later, and taking a 2 Elite act with a Super Elite and Apotheosis on floor 0 is already really good. But no need to risk walking into this Elite and dying, I suppose, or taking too much damage. And 3 are Blade Dance and Piercing Wail are definitely close here. Piercing Wail gets better as the run goes on, probably, unless you have some particular reason why Blade Dance is really good. Here I take Piercing Wail because I already have Sneaky Strike, Dagger Throw, Terror, and you know, time to get some block going. So a bit early for Piercing Wail, but I think I can get away with it here. So I could kill the left one with explosive pots, or just strike, defend. Take 4, yeah. So Apotheosis going away again, very sad. Missed the dagger throw there, doesn't matter though. Well-laid plans is here, wow. What a start here. I mean, this is a deck. Was definitely considering that the elite was going to give gold, which would make the shop better if I went there. And now this is very awkward all of a sudden. So, another reason why it was questionable to go left, but it all works out. Not planning on playing Terror. Whoops. Missed 1 damage, I believe. Considering taking 1 to play Strike. I refuse. And oof. Getting entangled next turn, but we have well-laid plans. How am I thinking? I just didn't play well-laid plans. Whoops, that's definitely a mistake. I think I thought I already played it or something. Huge whoops. Took no damage for it though. Definitely was not a decision to do that. And now Blade Dance is back, and it's against another Terror, which we don't want, and a Choke, which is bad. So, move on. And Unseizing Top is here, which is whenever your hand is empty on your turn, you may, or you will draw a card. Very cool flavor, actually. But, pretty bad relic, unfortunately. And it's a bit early. It's not doing anything for us immediately. It can only be useful later when we can actually play all of our cards and have enough energy to keep going, which we're not even close to being able to do, especially with the well-laid plans. So, basically useless relic, and I key it. There may be usefulness later, but I'm expecting the average relic to be better than that by a lot. And I'm letting this regen pot heal me. Only a shield gremlin to deal with here. One more. Of course, the regen pot, very good if you can just get the whole health out of it, so different from other potions where you want to save them for the right fight. You kind of do want to save regen pot for the right fight also, but not the most dangerous fight, the easiest fight instead. And I take a blur with all upgraded defense. Could be pretty good to retain our block. And I just love playing blur. It's fun and it's cool and doesn't work out all the time. So in this deck, I felt like I could get away with it, and I take it to try to do the cool block engine thing. It's like a fine card, but it tends to get in the way of the whole draw a billion cards plan. Taking a moment here. And we're back. Play the Terror, of course. And Apo is still in my deck. I gotta play that. Pretty good card. Don't have any discard for my Sneaky Strike, sadly. And I want to upgrade the Wally plans. Definitely. Need to upgrade that bad boy. If you draw power before Apotheosis and you play it, then it's not upgraded. Sad truth of the matter. This is... We have no poison, and this is super elite metallicized Lagavulin, and it doesn't matter. Very cool. Take a Juzu Bracelet, causing us not to be able to get hallway fights at question marks anymore. And all of these cards are upgraded, by the way. Important to realize, so prepared is better than usual. Yeah, we've gotten 2 trash relics in a row. Very, very tough there. Juzu Bracelet, while it can be useful, is not making number in fight, not providing any real value. It's not like hallway fights are strictly worse or better, generally speaking, than an event. So it's not, and it's also like, does it even actually ever do anything? Which it often doesn't. So just a very underwhelming relic, although it's a fun one. We can fight. And finishers here, I do have Well-Laid Plans, but nothing else really looks good here. Don't have any poison for Bane. Quick Slash is a mid, and I already have enough attack commons. Probably could click finish here. Also, the beta art is on still, very funny. I do take finisher after all. Definitely clicking the elite here. Surely. And sentries, perhaps worse than Gremlin Knob. Here we have Terror, Sneaky Strike. If we find Apotheosis on turn 1, it'd be really, I mean, so with this hand, maybe not. Perhaps better to find sentries there. There's Apo. Play Well-Laid Plans, of course, and take the 8 for it. Well-Laid Plans is really important. It's so important. Some good cards in there. Oh, a Fire Potion as well. Being a bit slow here. Blade Dance, Finisher, Dagger Throw, Neutralize, all at the bottom. That's so sad. Those cards are good, by the way. At least in this fight. And the Piercing Whale very kindly stripping all of the artifact charges. Didn't even matter though. It did matter for Terror actually. But the weaken would have also healed us a bit there. And we were offered a Turnip, which prevents us from becoming frailed, which reduces our block from cards that actually say block on them, skills. Very cool. As opposed to relics that make block or like after image, etc. Powers. Obviously. What else would make block besides cards, right? It might just be dead. I'm weakened, never mind. It's close. Piercing Whale though. Piercing Whale, pretty good card. Even in this one enemy hitting us one time, it's still a defend plus. It's fine. Backflip's good. And we're against the Guardian. Boy, is this Guardian gonna be very sad to face us here. I mean, what's a Guardian to do about an Apotheosis? So I even have the Fire Potion just in case if it somehow can't split on turn 2. And we're back. And I realize I'm actually likely to not split, and I could even save the Fire Pot. I actually can blur defend here and then perhaps block this. Disgusting. But Chrysalis is here, and I believe this ended up being really good, actually. It's the fact that it's skills. So I hit Burst, Blade Dance, Tactician. And then Apotheosis, and they're all upgraded. Is that not disgusting, or what? Still not splitting. Once again, Finisher, Blade Dance at the bottom. I'm not salty, but just saying. Could play Piercing Whale and full block, but can also split. And of course, and now it's in defensive stance, which will damage us, so we have to start blocking. And it is possible to block for so much that you can keep hitting it, but unlikely in this case. Look at this prepared tactician. Foreshadowing? Possibly. I actually don't even remember. I do love me a tactician though. Would go strike, burst, blade dance for... Oh my god, it's so much damage. 26 plus... I don't know if I had hand space. 26 plus 24 plus 18 probably. Math. It was enough, truly. But I also may have overdrawn a shiv, which would be bad. Not that bad. It is super splitting here. Oh my god, this hand's actually crazy. I play this to get a card out of my hand. Neutralize, burst, blade dance, finisher for like 1 billion damage here. Nearly lethal. Did you guess one off? Good for you. Yeah, we got there. Pretty easy Jardian overall. Kind of drew our deck upside down, but it's fine. I never noticed that tip before. It is not always wise to add cards. How have I never, like... Holy guacamole. Has it always been there? Anyway. Sozu is here. I've recently been burned by taking Sozu as a silent and getting alchemized. Not interested in that. Take a Slaver's Collar instead. And so we have no relics at all, actually. Juzu Bracelet, Turnip. Juzu Bracelet, Turnip are here, so preventing these from getting frailed is good and all, especially in Act 2, to be honest. They frail you a lot, but still not, like, actually doing anything a lot of the time. And Juicy Bracelet not doing anything, and Slaver's Collar doesn't do anything in hallway fights. So we're going into Act 2 actually weaker than expected, I would say. We had a very solid first few floors, and then found the well-laid plans, and then after that it was kind of like, eh. The Apotheosis will be enough to carry us. Chosen is here is actually kind of horrifying. Of course, the Silent having a lot of non-attack cards involved. Get a lot of dazes, and you can't capitalize off having the dazes like Ironclad can. And we're getting hit for 31 damage and can't get out. So all of a sudden, Act 2 is doing Act 2 things very quickly. And Apotheosis at the bottom. Very sad. Absolutely brutal. We got there. Duplication potion is really good, and Tactician Plus is here. Very cool. Now we get Library. Definitely consider clicking the heal here. Definitely consider clicking heal. It was probably correct. I don't know. We do want a lot of help still. There's a campfire coming up. I take the event. And Acro is here. That seems good. Helps me find Apotheosis. And also, I just took a Tactician Plus. And ooh! I take it! The Madman. And then I find Bites, which is pretty good. So down to 10 health. Act 2 is being Act 2 here. And Bites are better with Apotheosis. They're upgraded. I go left, and it's birds. Actually kind of spooky. I have a corpse explosion, though. And this is a bit awkward, because I want to neutralize Blade Dance one of the birds to break it, but I also want to apply Corpse Explosion to the same one. And if I Corpse Explosion the middle bird, which is the only one hitting me, it's the least amount of health, so the other two birds won't actually die when it dies. So a bit of a situation here. I decided to just take the 6, in fact. So hopefully it actually makes sense after I explain that, why I decided to just take 6 damage instead of neutralize that. And it works out, it seems. And I know that I could actually leave these alive one turn and bite more, but then I see I only have 1 bite in there. No need to be too insane here. Just bite the bird there, yeah. We got out. So we made it through that, and now we're going to a rest site soon. Cat Collect Gamble is really good, of course. And it also helps us find Apotheosis. And it's good if we find it after Apotheosis to keep playing it. There it is. Thank God. This guy's here. It's like the long Tetris piece. I might have the duplication pot and fire pot here. Or I could block. Could block. I do a little bit of both. Oof. That's not a good hand. Just use them, bro. It's fine. Duplication potion on defend. My heart couldn't take it. I couldn't do it. Would have been disgusting. Where did I find adrenaline? Must have been my rare from Act 1, huh? Thinking about Gamble, to be sure. Thinking about Corpse Explosion and Piercing Wail, of course. And Blur is pretty good. Blocks for next turn. I'm thinking if only this was a Ginger in this exact moment. Because that prevents you from being weakened, which is all this Blue Slaver does to us. Definitely need to get out here. I don't have poison ticking or anything. This is rather horrifying, actually. I mean, I don't have poison ticking in the middle one, but I do have Corpse Explosion, so once I kill the left one, it'll do a lot of damage to the big one. And I just need a little bit more help. So I'm biting my way back to health. Like the vampires be doing. We're at 20 health. So I think we have successfully beaten Act 2 at this point. Like, that was so brutal, but now we're turning the corner. I think I played, like, fine. Save the dupe pot. Pretty good. Apotheosis, where are you? It's actually crazy how different the deck feels when it's in play. The difference is staggering. Take 5 to put that in play, and now the bites are going to let us just do whatever we want, and then can just heal back up once we put all our stuff in play. Very self-repair-ish. That's 31 damage, guys. Gonna have to deal with that, I think. Piercing Wail's here, blocking for 16 damage. What a card. Hey, it's Corpse Explosion. Don't need that. I actually want to stay in this fight for longer because I can bite over and over. I could heal to full here. In fact. Let's see if Past Me actually does so, or if waiting around that long is cringe. I'm definitely doing it to some extent. It did heal itself, that's very nice. We're already pretty much there. Very huge. And it's healing again, how kind. And I didn't mention ink bottle, apologies, got that from Slavers. Really trying to remember to mention every single one and still mess up. But of course, ink bottle, every 10th card that we play, we'll gain 1 card draw. A pretty good relic. It's really good on the Silent because Silent plays so many cards. It doesn't have to be attacks or whatever, like some other of the relics do. It's every card. Every Shiv, every skill, every prepared. Just adds to it. There's another Blades plus. A bit of a bait. The other Blades in my deck is also upgraded. Maybe could use a Deadly Poison for a little more scaling. I didn't even consider it, probably. And Preserved Insect is here. I am playing against Champ, by the way. Champ might have liked having the Deadly Poison. But Preserved Insect, of course, is very good. Having elites have 25% less health. So basically dealing a ton of damage for you if you find it early enough in the run. Another Acros here, take a card move and a Footwork for some block. Footwork, pretty good. And Ink Bottle Slaver's Collar for Naloth's Gift. The Naloth's Gift, of course, making it more likely to find rare cards at card reward screens, which is a decent effect unless you're playing the Watcher, but not better than Slaver's Collar or Ink Bottle, probably. So I refuse. No thanks. And our Slaver's Collar is doing something. It's huge. And Piercing Wail is going to be the best card in the game in this fight. And this is actually very awkward because I want to keep one of those cards, so end up wasting the Piercing Wail, sadly. Otherwise I would have just either had to play it there or take 15, which was brutal. Could have perhaps not played a different card if I had the option to do that. In which case that was a huge mistake, because saving that is really good. It'll be fine though. Adrenaline's still in there, probably killing this turn. We do good damn. And play more cards to charge Ink Bottle. Surely. I pitch my whole hand. Smart. And could have played Blade Dance. Oh, it's actually good. Got out on 9 and full health, so we are cooking. And another shop and do an elite. Very good. Another Footwork is here. And Deflect is here. Could be good. I'm probably not going to buy a Deflect. That's a bit much, but worth noting that Deflect with a free upgrade on it and a Footwork, possibly too, is great. Especially in those hallway fights. We only have 3 energy. Could use that fast block, to be sure. Do indeed buy it, and I buy a power potion. We're going into Champ, so I'd perhaps like some sort of scaling, just in case. I will probably be able to just Blade Dance finisher him, but Champ can be very scary. Piercing Wail once again cooking here. Already blocking for 23 damage. Make it 24. And I found a Centennial puzzle, which will draw us 3 cards the first time we take damage in combat. I feel like I've been getting a lot of the same relics. Like I explain these every video. Centennial puzzle especially has been showing up a lot. It is a common. But yeah, I actually took the 1 there, which was good because it drew me 3 cards. Very cool. Pitch my hand to keep up Apo for next turn. And a Tactician, it seems. I have Acro in there, so that seems really good next turn. And it's not hitting us. You fool! That's too slow. Even hitting us is probably too slow, it seems. Molten Eggs here, completely useless. Upgrading all of our attacks that we add into our deck for the future. We have Apotheosis, and we're not planning on adding any more attacks, probably. Already have enough. So, it is basically like I didn't just find a relic, and I do take a deflect, as I was just talking about. It's pretty good here. When you get enough draw, just weave in the 0-cost cards that actually do something. It's like, that's 13 block right now. If I upgrade both my footworks. Looks like I might not get to do that here, though. Terror aggro first. It doesn't even matter if I take damage because I have bites. In theory. So I am saving one of them at least. Not the best discard there. Take 7, proc puzzle. Find Apo. I want to start applying poison, perhaps. Poison and play bites. I would have played Corpse Explosion in hindsight. That was weird. It's not hitting me. I am blocking for next turn, of course, but like, could have just started doing damage with poison. I don't know. Actually, though, here's the thing about this, and probably what I was thinking about is the more turns it has the poison on it, the lower health it gets, and that sounds obvious and all. But the problem with that is that it will split sooner. And so I was perhaps saving it till I was a bit closer to shuffling so that I could play it again sooner, therefore stacking more poison, therefore having a bigger split turn, etc. I think that's what was going on there. So a play that looks weird may actually be 1000 IQ. Not to say that that definitely was or anything, but just worth considering. And here I'm perhaps going the other way and splitting too fast for no reason. Nope. Actually got there. But if I was thinking about that a moment ago, of applying as many stacks of Corpse Explosion as possible, then why would I do that? So maybe I wasn't thinking. Or maybe I just got bored. I tend to do that. Like, yeah, let's just do this really slow line where it takes like 15 turns to do what I want to do, and then I'm like, wait a second, I could just kill it without doing that, probably. And I actually don't know if exactly half health makes it split or not. It doesn't for the Time Eater, I know that for sure. So I'm assuming it doesn't with this boss. And therefore I could have left it on 220 there. But I wasn't quite ready to find out that I was wrong there. Accidentally wasted ink bottle there, that was a mistake. Should not have filled my hand with the 10th card. Ooh, there's the finisher, it's huge. It's massive, it's gigantic, it's gargantuan. Should have played finisher before reshuffling, probably. Would have been good. It's dead anyway, and I'm ink bottles on 9. Wow, what a turn. So yeah, I think I really was doing the Corpse Explosion thing, and then I realized I don't actually have to, and I stopped. And 2 attacks that are trash here, or Wraith Form. Do I take the Wraith Form? I actually don't know. I already have so much block with double footwork. I skip. And some people perhaps a bit bored of Wraith Form. Who knows? And Astrolabe not quite as enticing as normal. It has the upgrades, which aren't as good here. Considering all of our cards are upgraded anyway after Apotheosis is in play. And also, we have no strikes, we only have bites, and if you transform a bite, it will turn into another colorless card, which is not ideal. So, probably take the bell here. Tiny House is fine as well, gives us max health, proportionally more than usual max health, because we lost max health from taking bites. But that's still not necessarily exciting. And also, the whole upgraded card thing doesn't matter. because we, again, have a fully upgraded deck, basically. So, definitely considering, do I skip? I mean, Astrolabe is better than skipping, of course, and Tiny House is better than skipping. But do I not take this curse, is what I'm thinking. And I finally do take the curse. And we got Oddly Smooth Stone, giving us 1 dexterity at the start of each combat. White Bee Statue, causing potions to always drop from combats. And Giria, allowing us to permanently gain 1 strength at rest sites instead of resting or upgrading cards. Which is good because we have Apotheosis, so upgrading is kind of bad. And we aren't doing the poison thing right now, so we're doing the Blade Dance Finisher thing. Giria actually rather huge. And would love to find some campfires. Definitely want to make sure I find 3 campfires this act if possible, including the one at the end, to make sure that we will have the 3 strength from the Act 4 campfire. Of course, we still have to take the red key at some point, so can't quite get there this act no matter what we do, it seems. And past me is very kindly highlighting the map. I wish he would do that more often for us, but what can you do? There's no getting through that guy, it seems. Taking some damage here, but luckily we are a vampire. This deflect's going to be very nice for our turn where we actually want to attack this Spiker, blocking for free. It's going to hurt. Normally a Spiker is easy. You'd at least have some way to poison. We do have a Corpse Explosion, right? Surely. Where are you? Corpse Explosion. And Welly Plan's letting us keep our block cards. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, gonna somehow put Ink Bottle on 9 again. Heal for this 2 health, preferably. That'd be great. Somehow weave in a bite. We'll do it right now. Genius. Every run of Slay the Spire I play is a virtuoso performance. Just a few more cards for Ink Bottle. Oops. Left it on 8 instead. You fool. Another Blade Dance is here. I have Furia and Finisher. Maybe I take it. Probably not. Too many Blade Dance is bad. You want to be drawing a billion cards, and then eventually you'll find your copies of Blade Dance again. Pantographs here, not doing a whole lot. Just heals us for 25 at the start of each boss fight. And because we have bites, we're not expected to need that, I don't think. And we only have 49 max health as well. Transform a card is here, and definitely a tough choice, as explaining earlier with the Astrolabe. With 5 defense, with 2 copies of Footwork and Apotheosis in their deck, they're blocking for 14 versus actually pretty decent card. But I do transform and find an Eviscerate, which is pretty good. And Flash Steel looks great here. It's upgraded. It has, we have Giria. And Finisher, really, really good. And Deep Breath is here. I probably take that. Although, here's the problem with Deep Breath, yet again, is that, let's say we're about halfway through our deck and Apotheosis is at the bottom. We play a Deep Breath to draw a card, and our whole discard pile is back in our deck. It's like we just started over again. And that is actually a massive problem for us. Once the Apotheosis is in play, it's actually really good, but just that issue kind of makes it not worth it, probably. So I skip it. Like, it doesn't matter how good our deck is, really. Our deck's good enough already after we play Apotheosis. So you cannot be adding cards to your deck that may severely hinder your ability to do so. And perhaps something not everybody would consider, so I'm very happy that I made that connection. Did take a Panacea, though, it seems. A nice little artifact charge. And ouch! Darklings. Looking a bit scary here. Gotta find this Piercing Whale. Can gamble into it. Maybe I don't even need it, actually. How much am I hitting here for? A lot, kind of. I can just kill one as well. Kill the one that's hitting me for 50, surely. Corpse Explosion as well. So, new plan. Play Corpse Explosion and kill it. Never mind, I'm full blocking. Oh, I want to bite. That's right. Of course. So, a lesser player, like current me, might just want to get out of this fight and like draw into damage there. I don't know why I played Piercing Well, that was wrong. I was already full blocking. But anyway, a lesser player might want to just escape this fight as fast as possible. Wow, this looks very spooky, get me out of here. But we have stabilized once we kill one of them, and it has to keep sitting there regaining its health. So you can sit here and bite forever and get back to full health. It's like this fight never happened. Ouch. Backflip gamble. Nooch the left one. Could play it, could not play it. It's fine. See, a little bit of a intermission here. Have to heal some health. And I actually noticed the curse was in my hand here. I recently talked about this where, like, to me the curse is unplayable and therefore, like, my brain doesn't even process. Like, it's like a card that I can click on in my hand. So when I have discard effects and I'm like thinking about what to discard and I'm like, oh man, all these cards are really good, then sometimes I won't notice that I can just discard the curse, which is really bad. Something I need to work on to be sure. So this run I am actually, like, apparently pretty locked in. I think overall I'm playing pretty well. Not to say perfectly or anything close, but like no really obvious blunders happening. And I am pretty tuned into my relics and like the overall game plan. So pretty happy with what I'm seeing here. I have uploaded some horrible runs. Like the past couple runs were really gross, I would say. But a win is a win, and it's going up. I hope to be an inspiration. You too can play horribly and still win on Ascension 20. It's possible. You just have to notice that you're playing horribly, I suppose. That's important. And I take a fruit juice. Love me some fruit juice. And lift, of course. Now we have 1 innate strength in every fight going into the Reptomancer here. And Repto can be scary to be sure. Piercing Whale is a great card in this fight, possibly hitting 5 enemies. So 30 minimum damage if they're all hitting you. And sometimes Repto will multi-hit you as well. But in this case, we were able to kill the minions on turn 1. And Piercing Whale blocks for a lot. 16 plus some number when you account for weaken. 6-ish. Oof. Gotta kill one of the side ones, probably Corpse Explosion Gamble, yeah. And then we find an attack. Pretty good deck, I have to say. This deck is like, it's doing its thing. It's just solid enough. And I can just kill here. And I choose to not, I choose to keep Ink Bottle on 9 over gaining 1 health, which I probably could have just played a bite. I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, just 1 health. And we find Akabeko, which will make our first attack in each combat deal 8 additional damage. Really good with Eviscerate, in fact. That would deal 24 additional damage. Pretty huge. And considering another Footwork or a Phantasmal Killer, perhaps, might be crazy to not take Phantasmal Killer here in some people's eyes. I don't love that card. I don't love the whole next turn bit. But I do, in fact, take it here. I think it's good enough. But, like, some people I'm sure would have snap picked that card. Like, maybe that's the card some people were looking for in this deck. I'm not the same way, but it's fine. Will be some nice scaling in the Act fight, the Act 3 bosses here. And the heart and whatnot. And already Akabeko Eviscerate doing something. Huge, massive. Consider Terror on the left one, because this one on the right was already halfway dead, but still ripped it. Slowly but surely getting there against the Orb Walker. Kind of scary here, to be honest, but just gonna find finisher, surely. Also, I have Corpse Explosion, and this thing is still alive somehow, so I probably messed up. I believe that should have been involved at some point. And a Fossilized Helix is our rare relic, giving us 1 buffer charge in each combat, preventing the first time we take any damage, whether it be 1 or a billion. And a Sundial as well. Every 3rd reshuffle of our deck will give us 2 energy. Unfortunately, as a Silent, with no way to exhaust cards inherently, and 37 cards in our deck, Sundial is lackluster. Nice when it works, but will only work once in a blue moon due to our huge deck size. Generally better on classes that can go infinite and reshuffle constantly. Ironclad in particular loves to abuse a Sundial with the Pommel Strike plus infinite. Nemesis hitting us for a lot. We have 2 artifact charges, they're doing nothing. Should have taken Wraith Form, apparently. Nah. It's fine. Thinking about Ink Bottle, of course. Put it on 9. Past me is doing the Ink Bottle thing as often as possible, or as realistic anyway, and I like that. And find a Paper Crane. Weakened enemies will now deal 40% less damage instead of 25. A very powerful block relic indeed. And of course lifting E yet again. 2 innate strength. This Silent is jacked. Like, the strength really matters in situations like this, where the enemies are such low health, but, like, high importance. These shivs are dealing 1/4 of this right one's health instead of 1/6 of their health, for example. Definitely big. I'm not sure what's going on here. I probably should have played... Like, I probably should have killed the right one. But I guess I wanted to save my Blade Dance for this huge Phantasmal Killer turn here. Problem with this is I don't have Apotheosis in play yet. So I might just gamble it away anyway. So this was, silly. I saw the line. Current me saw the line. Past me was not thinking ahead enough. I think... Play footwork first, because that's definitely happening. And I have, at this point, I'm like, oh wait, I have double damage. I could just rip dupe pod and kill this. But I could also just kill the minions and like be totally fine. I could also just Piercing Wail. A lot of options. Point Eviscerate at Repto, play Piercing Wail. Genius. Yep. Pretty good Piercing Wail. It has to be said. And considering not playing Apotheosis here because I need more energy perhaps. If I hit Tactician, it's super fine though. Ink Bottle as well with the Flash of Steel is pretty wild. So those cards like Deflect, Gamble, stuff like this. Just a bit better with Ink Bottle involved. I'm taking my time here. I mean, it's important to, if you're just a player who likes to cruise, I think it's important to realize when a turn is tricky. I tend to just play cards even when the turn is tricky, even though I should know that the turn is tricky. And then I'm like, wait a second, I did something wrong. Whoops, I'm dead. It's that easy, really. And I decided to take 25. I guess I couldn't actually get there on the block because I only had 11 block. So I was one off from not taking 25 here. But then I can bite. It's fine. But yeah, I need to be better about slowing down a bit when I need to. It's okay to take an extra 5-10 minutes in a run. I don't want to spend an extra like 5 hours on a run or anything, but certainly the case that I would probably increase my win rate by like 10% if I just like really let it marinate sometimes. But I just go a lot of the time. And earlier I played a Phantasmal Killer. That was actually a mistake because it made bite do more damage. And I want to play as many bites as I can in order to heal for as much as possible. So I'm going to let it live here, surely, because I can just play bites on the minions. Keep the aggro for sure. That was not a decision, I don't think. Oh, Ink Bottle on 9 as well. I decided to just cut my losses right there. It's fine. I was really into this Ink Bottle on 9 thing this run. Like, the one card draw on turn 1 when you have Apotheosis in your deck is actually massive. And, like, you have so many things that can just, like, off you go if you find it. Acro, Tactician, stuff, backflips. But if you whiff on all of it, and you don't have that way to draw that one card, then... Like, in this case, we could take a lot of damage, obviously, if that happened. Piercing Wail is here as well, though, so we'd take, like, 5 or something. Piercing Wail is a good card. If I can offer you any wisdom from this run, it's Piercing Wail is a good card. I bite. And yet again, this one copy of Corpse Explosion is like our guardian angel. coming in handy in so many fights. I can't say I remember where I found it, to be honest. But it was good wherever I found it. I definitely didn't comment on it because I didn't say anything about it earlier. It's hard to keep up with everything that I do when playing this fast. I consider my strength, like if I had to rank my, there's a few different kind of axes, right, of like what makes you good at this game. There's like card evaluation, like a knowledge of like events, and like pathing. Pathing is huge. People ask questions about that all the time. Like, what are you looking for in a path? I see streamers get asked that all the time. And it's very hard to explain, but you just kind of get the feel for it after a while. And so, like, I think those sort of things, the over-the-board game decisions, are my strength relative to how I play the fights. I tend to blunder a lot because I play too fast. But I think overall my decision to, like, key relics, or take cards in shops, or go to certain events, or not go to certain events, or whatever, is generally pretty sound. I'm very happy with that. Don't play that. Oh my god. Oh. My heart can't take that piercing wail. Everything about that was terrible. I don't know what just happened. Avert your eyes. Pretty lucky here that it wasn't hitting me. Only 2 cards left this turn. Should have kept aggro over finisher, probably. I'm certainly not always having a huge pop-off turn here. Looks pretty good, though. But, like, Blade Dance finisher sucks here. You might be surprised that we actually won this fight. I have a buffer charge, so I'm just leaning into that right now. I have footwork over Panacea. It's fine. Either one's fine. And I'm splitting! And I actually realize if I don't do that here, I could save the finisher again, and then perhaps duplication potion? The 54 damage, that's rather spooky. Yeah, I could perhaps duplication potion the finisher. This is probably going to be the hardest fight for this deck. I also bought a fairy in a bottle, which really, really makes the heart pretty free. Pretty good potion. The downside of fairy in a bottle is that it fills a potion slot. And that makes it, like, finding it early really tough to hang on to for the hard fight. But if you happen to find one Act 3 boss gauntlet or later, then obviously you're not likely to find more potions that will want to be in that slot, and therefore it's better. It's basically Lizard Tail, which is a rare relic. It's pretty good. But also, Unseizing Top is a rare relic, to be fair. I don't know what just happened. It's definitely splitting, and I just did that for no reason, and now it's gonna heal all the health back. So past me is trolling in this fight. Like, some of the worst play I've ever seen from myself, to be sure. The Piercing Wail on turn 1 was arguably even worse, because there's the thing where you can Piercing Wail into the split turn, and then it loses all of its strength that it has as well. So even if I wasn't blocking with it later, it would still be good. Just questionable decisions all around. I was just limit testing into the split, it's fine. I knew I wouldn't take damage anyway. He says before taking 1 billion damage. I have to play Blade Dance here, sort of, because otherwise I'm ending the turn on like 10 cards played, and that'd be pretty awkward. So I'd probably go Survivor, then Blade Dance, if I'm guessing. Survivor to get rid of a card, then make more Shiv, and then... Or I just pass. I could just pass, yeah. Okay. That's fine. So after unloading a finisher into the Time Eater split for no reason, I turned my brain back on, it seems. Fair enough. Should have kept that. But perhaps I'm thinking about killing next turn. Probably looking for Phantasmal Killer again. I saw the curse in my hand, huge. He's really cooking. And the Paper Crane are really good here as well. Paper Crane's a good relic. I just played that, but I have to make sure I also play 6 cards this turn now. But I also want to keep Finisher in my hand. I'm thinking too hard about this. Fan, neutralize, bite. Keep the other 2. Or that. That's sure. Don't play that. Oh no. You were saving it for next turn. Please scream at your monitors with me, gang. Now I have Phantasmal Killer active with no damage cards in my hand. There's Eviscerate, should be fine. We did it. And I play cards for Ink Bottle again. Nope. Okay, so definitely the worst I've played in this entire run, by far, right there. Time Eater was mind controlling me. But we made it through without taking damage. Poor Time Eater. Never stood a chance. Get the Corpse Explosion off here. Very nice. Get to full block. He would have taken 1 damage, Proxitennial Puzzle, if I just played Survivor and not the other Defend, which would have been a lot better. A mistake. Don't get rid of the Defend. That'll be bad. And definitely taking the whatever damage, 4 damage, in order to play the Well-Laid Plans. You gotta play that. It's too good. Prepared is in my hand for this Eviscerate. This Eviscerate was actually a huge hit, and perhaps a lesson in, like, don't just assume you have enough attacks or whatever. Our deck was very combo-y before, like we kind of needed to hit the whole finisher Blade Dance thing to do a lot of damage. But just this one Eviscerate is a lot of damage, and it went really well with the whole discard a lot of cards, the gamble and whatnot thing, prepared. If I saw an Eviscerate and skipped it when I, was already doing this sort of thing, then perhaps that was a big mistake as well. I don't remember seeing one, though. Generally speaking, you don't want more, like, just attacks, that all they are is attacks. For example, Core Surge is an attack, but it gives you an artifact charge, which makes it good even later. But generally speaking, like, Eviscerate literally just does damage. You don't want that sort of card often in, like, Act 3, but sometimes you are actually lacking damage. And we didn't do the poison thing or anything, so we did need a little bit more help. And if I hadn't just happened to have transformed into that Eviscerate, perhaps this run would have looked a lot different. Definitely worth considering. Just because it's often true doesn't mean it's always true. That's for sure in this game. What makes it so hard to evaluate stuff. And please play finisher. Good work. Did I still have terror in my deck? Or did I play it on a cultist? Probably the latter. Ooh. I blinked and the first phase died. Very unusual for Silent killing it this fast. Or really anyone. Bookbird takes a while. I always feel like this fight is such a slog. Not necessarily that that's a bad thing or anything. It can feel good to overcome. Playing a few cards for Ink Bottle, just in case. Couldn't get it on 9 though. And to thump, a Deep Pulsing Dread. On to Act 4. The ending. Lift. As mentioned earlier, how long has it been since I talked about that? Act 4 Campfire, we are lifting our final time. And there's a burst here that looks really good. Definitely clicking on that. It's also upgraded. Do not get baited. It is upgraded. We have Apotheosis. If you saw a shiny green burst there, you would have snap picked it probably, right? It can be very tough to truly appreciate that when you have Apotheosis. Somebody commented something along the lines of, why do you open your deck so often? And first of all, fair enough. Second of all, it's because I tend to really I like to see everything in front of me, which sort of like activates the muscle memory and the pattern recognition. If I'm not staring right at it, then it's hard to make the decisions, right? I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Tough turn here. Had to waste my buffer charge there and then took 12. The shield doesn't always hit you on turn 1, so that could have been 0 instead. But then I'd be taking more here, which would be bad. Definitely want this corpse explosion involved. That's for sure. Really want this Tactician in my hands. Oh, that's really good. That piercing was blocking for 32 damage against one enemy, by the way. I might not even use it. I think I thought I already played it or something. I don't really know what just happened. Now I'm like, wait a second, I'm taking 18 damage. 20 damage. I have a burn in my head. Ooh, Lucker. I knew the Tactician was in there, of course, and not that many cards left in my deck, so decided to go for it. And in fact, this might just be dead. Indeed, if I want it to be. But Corpse Explosion's not working, which is a bit awkward. So perhaps I leave it on this health. And play Void Plans. Keep Corpse Explosion in my hands. Yep. Okay, so past me got there around the same time as I did. It's almost like he's the same person. Should have played the Deflect there probably. Oof, that was a bad Ink Bottle. The one fight where it really matters, I didn't do it. Very funny. Backflips here again, but I perhaps have enough in my mind. And here's where, like, Backstab Plus is being presented to me, right? And, like, some people are like, I think Backstab's really good or whatever. It's really good in Act 1, but it'll be complete trash here. Essentially, -1 card in your opening hand to just deal 15 damage to an 800 health enemy. Horrible. And here we are on turn 1 with Apotheosis in our hand and a buffer charge and no block cards. So goodbye buffer charge. And will I remember to use this duplication potion on something good? Stay tuned. I tend to forget about my potions a lot, which is very bad. Like, not a lot, but I don't know. It happens to me more often than it should as an Ascension 20 player. That's for sure. Yet again, another in-combat decision. Woolly Plans is here, in play. So just thinking here, if it has a killer for next turn, am I planning on attacking? Probably not, but I mean, there's no reason not to play it there. Because we're not keeping it either. And Paper Crane is really cooking here. It's doing 40 instead of 67. That's Paper Crane by itself. Actually, no, it's not true. It'd be weakened to 50, I believe. Is that math? So it's blocking for 10. And perfectly blocking there. That's very cute. And may we have that neutralize back. But we now have Piercing Wail. Blocking for 45 damage, guys. It's a good card. Down to 4 energy here. I'm considering getting rid of the Void, not with this card, but certainly thinking about Gamble here to just draw a new hand. After Piercing Wail, though, hopefully. But maybe it's not even necessary. I can just Piercing Wail and pass. It's fine. And I double the Corpse Explosion? Sure. Maybe I need more damage. It can be tough to play enough shivs and not die against the hearts to do as much damage as we want. Definitely full blocking this turn. 28. Pathetic. And yet it's not taking a lot of damage, notably. So the problem with duplicating like a finisher, for example, is that it can only take 200 damage a turn. So I think it's actually fair enough to double the Corpse Explosion. Could have doubled like a Footwork instead, though, perhaps. Not entirely clear. Oh, and the bronze scales. When did I find all these relics I didn't talk about? Oh my god, guys. So sorry, I'm just gonna let it go. It's so hard to remember. I know what they do. It's the 800,000th time I've picked those relics up. Slowly getting there, taking a little bit of chip damage. But we do have Fairy in a bottle. This is actually a little bit scary. First, defend, aggro. Ooh, look at deflect, cook. It's good. Zero energy block, guys. And neutralizes blocking for 30 damage. It's pretty good. Or more than that. Was it 7 times 15 a second ago? Math. I think it was 6 times 50. And we did it. Do I finish with Finisher? Nope. I eviscerate the heart instead. Hour 15, a little bit long for me, but got there in the end. Overall, decent relics. The Giria was pretty cool and fun. And of course, the whole run was completely carried. You're standing on the shoulders of the giant that was Apotheosis this run, and it all worked out. Very sus beginning of the Act 2 as well, but we made it through. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.